Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Coming at you with another edition of VR news, with plenty to talk about this week, not only with news, but also we've had quite a fun week of revisiting some old titles in VR.
Yeah, taking a walk down memory lane.
It started with Loco Dojo Unleashed. We revisited that one, a game that I really think floated under the radar at release.
Because we haven't played it in a long time, but it still holds up.
Yeah. I mean, it was originally on PC VR years ago. Then they brought it to the Quest and they added some more content to it. But I mean, it's a game best played co-op up to 4 players. Kind of a little Mario Party-esque.
4 parties the way to go.
Yeah.
4-person
Four-person party.
Yeah.
There's a solo mode where you not all of the challenges and game modes are unlocked yet. You have to do specifically well in each one to continue to unlock more of it. But the real highlight to me is the game board mode, where you spin the game board, you try to, get to black headband and win all the mini games. That's the real game to me.
Yeah, use the karate belt system.
Yeah.
So you move, kind of a short one at that, but you move up get, like you said, the different colored belted headband.
Each little tile on the game board is a different mini game, and you get a certain amount of coins depending on your placement in the rankings of the mini game. That's why it's best played 4, because when there's 2 people, it's just win or lose, like first place or last place. Mm-hmm. But when there's the variety of a second person, or a third person or fourth person, it adds some more challenge with it. But regardless, it's a wicked fun game.
Well, how's this? When you play 4-player, when you come in last, you're not getting that same coin that you do when you come in second with 2-player.
Yeah.
Because even the loser gets coin and
wicked
in
fun game, though. I highly recommend it to anybody.
Dude, the mini games are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God.
Giant
and there's so
crab
many
hands.
Can you even remember them all? There's the crab hands.
No, I can't begin to remember every song. I'm going to miss a couple.
The totem poles.
Milking pigs.
Melting pigs.
With
exploding. Trying to blow up pigs.
I think the actual name of it is Milking Pigs via Piglets. Something like that. Yeah. I love it. Then there's the Hook-a-Pig.
There's the chum gun.
Seesaw, where you launch the stuff. There's the Apple Dash one. There's a bunch of great mini games. We were even saying that would make a great Discord
I still think
event.
Because it's not... all right,
16-person tournament.
Exactly.
Broken
four people playing at a time.
Correct. Winner of each
winner
one.
Per each one.
And then... It's just a 2-round tournament, really, then.
So it's only 4 different games you got going. And then, so you're going from 16 to 4.
Instantly, right there. Boom. Yep. So it's just a 2-round tournament.
Correct. Easy to pull off. Wouldn't take, weeks and weeks.
Mm-hmm. Unless
even
you want
time zone difference.
Yeah, you could extend it by making it so that the top 2 from each one move on, then you reshuffle it. But if you really just wanted to do it quick, just have the first place of each one.
Yeah.
Ah, man. we
That'd be the way to do it.
And it's a silly game. I feel like a lot of people never checked it out.
I kind of feel that way. I mean, there hasn't been, like you said, when it came out, they did a couple updates or whatever, but there hasn't been anything new added to
I don't hear
it
people talk about it.
No.
But it's a really fun co-op game.
Pound for pound, it's freaking really good.
And I stress the co-op element because I don't know if I would exactly say go out and spend it to play solo.
Remember we played with their community manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. We were almost beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He did win.
We were playing consistently at that time.
Dude, well, come on, man.
Fun game.
There's certain mini games that are not my favorite. Every one of them are fun, but because you and I have played against each other so many times, I know there's ones that you're better at than me. Mm-hmm. So if I get the chance to put up an obstacle, like a trap, I'm going to do it near a game you love.
The Hook-a-Pig?
And if I can teleport, I'm teleporting away from, so I don't roll any of the games that you're good at, because it's like, fuck that.
You beat me in the Milking of Piglets one, which is usually one of my go-tos.
Yeah, I felt it while we were playing it. I'm like, wow, I got a really good milk flow going on here. Mm-hmm. But holy crap, man.
Just fun game.
Yeah, it makes you laugh, and it's competitive, and definitely screams Discord tournament.
Yeah. And then we also went back into Population 1.
Yeah.
That was like our OG. I mean, remember, even before we started the podcast, but even while we were first started the podcast too, before and the initial start of it, Population 1 was our jam. It was nightly.
I'd say for about a year, easily. It was like
buying every skin.
Yeah, we were in it pretty deep. No, I mean, even doing other games and stuff, we'd always still play a couple of Pop 1s.
Correct. That was how we started every play session.
Yeah, warm up. Want to loosen up to a Pop 1 or 2? Like, yeah. And then I remember when we first started, we lost a lot. To the point where I actually was kind of getting discouraged. I think it was half a week, maybe 3/4 of a week before I even got a kill. We're talking, this was because we got it at launch.
Correct.
And then we finally won.
Paid $30 for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
we told a dude that the other night and he was like, what? Because he's only played since it went free to play.
Yeah.
Just some random dude that we got matched with.
You don't realize.
No, but that was our jam, and we got pretty good at it though.
Dude, we would go on first place streaks every night for a while.
And our first game back, after not playing for so long, we took first place. Our first game back.
Yeah. And it's not like
I wish I added the dude we were with.
I think that's the one I had 8 kills. The dude we played with had none, but he was a fantastic
And I feel bad for not adding him because he was self-critical at the end where he was like, oh, I didn't do anything.
I didn't help you guys at all.
He did exactly what you're supposed to.
We came in first, so you did something.
Yeah, he was great
I don't care if you got a kill or not, you know.
He was great at ghosting if he was dead. And if he came back and he had no items, he was great at drawing the attention to him instead of just being he was a great team player. No selfish actions.
Can you remember his name?
No, I wish I added him. I felt so once I was because we weren't in the groove yet, again. Of adding everybody that you have a good run with.
Dude, I didn't think we were going to go in there and take first. I knew we'd do all right, but I'm like,
taking a bunch of seconds too.
I don't know the caliber of player. I still see their community still popping, so no pun intended.
Easy to fill up a lobby. It took me.
Dude.
It's funny because we've been playing such realistic shooters like Ghost of Tabor, where, dude, I mean, how you shoot that gun in real life is how you're going to shoot it, and same with how that bullet travels. I forgot how far I could hit people with guns in Population 1 and do actual damage.
There's no bullet drop.
And really have no accuracy problems. I was popping people with the FAL from such a distance.
Well, the FAL is, dude, that thing's like...
Yeah, that's probably my favorite.
You get a 3-star FAL, you're done. You're good.
Good for the whole game.
Nothing else. Good for short range. Great for distance.
I threw away a gold UMP for a 3-star FAL.
I took that gold UMP.
I gave you the courtesy to take it before I threw it into the zone. I was like, hey, before I toss this thing away, do you want it? You're like, hell yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, so nice.
But yeah, still, now we're just warming up with some Pop 1.
Yeah, but we're shuffling a bunch of stuff. Like last night was funny when we played probably 6 different games.
Yeah.
Did one Population 1. It didn't really go our way. You're like, on to the next. I was
you want to play? I'm like, yeah, man. And I sent you a list, literally a list. And I'm like, how's this? And I was hoping you'd read it as a list because I'm like, man, I hope he doesn't think pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one of this for the 5 or 6.
Well, how about then I go in the headset and add 2 or 3 things to the list.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we still got to play some Ultimate Swing Golf. We got to play Masters of Light.
Fuck it, dude.
So we were going all around last night.
But yeah, Pop 1 was funny because it wasn't our best game at all. And then
at first,
as soon as it ended, I'm like, all right, on to the next game.
Oh yeah, you mean last night specifically?
Yeah.
Wasn't our best game.
Yeah, I'm just talking last night.
Yeah, no, that was
night before we crushed.
I think we came in
night
5th place last night. That was the worst we've done since we started playing again. Was last night.
That's showdown numbers. Although we come in 2nd or 3rd a lot in showdown.
Yeah,
a lot.
Well, speaking of showdown, they launched it just for this past weekend. It's over now, but I mean, it was just in beta, something they're testing out. So you got to think it's going to be coming either with more beta tests on the weekend soon or a full launch. But solos mode. Yep. So that was cool to see Contractors test out. I didn't play it because, well, if we play Contractors, we just handicap ourselves. We go in with just a squad of 2.
We're always 2.
Yeah.
That's what makes coming in 2nd or 3rd that much more
rewarding.
Special is because
we handicap ourselves.
And more often than not, remember in Pop 1, we would always try to handicap ourselves when we could. Or your teammates, you're just not going to listen to them.
I like that they give you that option in Contractors.
Yeah.
To not, it says fill teammates and you just uncheck it.
Yeah.
Boom.
But we do. We
give
ourselves a handicap.
Yeah. Whereas in Pop 1, there's no option for that. Which there's a time that they were testing out duos, and I loved that game.
Still a lot of kids in Pop 1.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there is.
We got Dorito.
Let's be real. That's why I don't like to match
Dorito.
That's the reason I uncheck the Phil teammates in Contractor Showdown. I would play a third with somebody that I know.
There's a lot of kids in Showdown. There's also a lot of adults, though.
Some toxicity in Showdown, for sure.
Unreal. No, don't even get me started.
But
I even had some moderate toxicity. If I flew in and, dude, it was brutal.
In Pop or Contractors?
Contractors. I fucking parachuted in and took one of the dudes out, and his buddy it was like something like Hollywood movie style, because they're in the rocks on the edge. And then they shot me, and he had some flavorful words for me.
Some not so nice things to say about our boy Stratus over here.
Yeah. Well.
Was it pregame or in-game?
It was in-game.
100%. People can talk crap about us, but we play in party chat. That's another reason I'm not going to match with a third in Contractors, because I don't want to hop out of party chat.
No, because
proximity chat is real.
No, we did the other night, and then we found ourselves talking a lot more than we should in a game that, it'd be like going into Tabor and like just singing songs. And I still love the dude that did, though. He was in the warehouse, and he was just singing the whole time. You could like hear him singing on the floors. Like, this guy's crazy. Like, no fear.
Yeah. So Population 1 was a good one to go back into. Contractor Showdown, solo mode. That's cool. Last thing on Population 1 and stuff. I will say, after going back into it for Battle Royale, I love the Contractors being able to revive your teammate through the vending machine, but the Population 1 reviving system is my favorite for a Battle Royale. It adds such a dynamic to be able to keep that revive train going.
Well, I know you had mentioned that, and then...
I mean, I know it's a different game, different dynamic.
If they gave you an independent defibrillator,
But it's just so cool to be able to just...
There would have to be some consequence for it. Population 1 doesn't take anything into consideration as far as weight.
It's arcadey shooting.
Yeah, just grab ammo packs everywhere.
Everywhere,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
I get it. Different game, different system. I get it.
But it would be cool if there was little revive systems other than the blue thing that I just can't figure out how you'd allow a carry system and what sacrifice you'd have to... Like
maybe give up some of your health to revive, half of your health to revive a dead teammate.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be really good.
Something like that.
Health grenade.
I don't know what it would be.
I don't think that's what they're going for.
Because, that's been some of the most epic moments for us in Population 1 is those, like, somehow find us an opportunity to revive your teammates, and it just changes the tide. It adds such a cool element. But I get it. Different game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's my favorite revive system.
Portable EKG would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. Seeing the rocket launcher in use was pretty cool, too. One of our teammates got murked. I watched it in front of my eyes. It was awesome. The rocket launcher hit him directly.
Dude, I grab that thing anytime I see it.
And then, so yeah, great stuff. And then, like I said, we hopped into Ultimate Swing Golf from Clap Hans.
Love it.
Yeah,
I really enjoy it. It's not going for like Golf Plus realism.
It's a balance. It's like a in between of Golf Plus realism and some arcadiness. It's its own balance. It's its own thing.
It's exactly what I was hoping for. A little forgiving. It's more forgiving than other golf games and such.
It has a single player mode with challenges that allow you to unlock new courses and stuff like that. And then there's obviously online play, which was really fun to do. We had a laughing good time as we both really got a hang of the swinging mechanics, which you get a hang of pretty quickly. But it took me a couple shots. My first couple weren't what they should have been.
Dude, the top-down view they let you go to in camera view is one of my favorite features.
Well, it looks nice with the avatar creator, too.
Yeah, it's tight. I like when every time you were playing last night, I would do it from the bird's eye view.
Once you told me that that's what you were doing, I started doing it, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I wish I was doing this from the beginning.
Yeah, same thing with deciding what distance I want to hit it, what club to use. But, I mean, it's got just enough balance of arcadiness that I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And again, for group play, it's just going to be fun. There used to be a golf game that was similar, though, and you could play it like everyone could play at the same time. It was really, you didn't have to wait for the person next to you to tee off. You just all played. And then at the end,
Clap Hans, they make good golf games, flat screen as well. So it's cool to see them come over to VR. And I was complimenting like their game design on the small details. That the game aesthetic just feels good. The button reactions when you click it, the little bit of visual feedback it gives,
I enjoy it for what it is.
the positive music, the positive
I'll keep playing
atmosphere.
it.
I don't want to talk. I mean, a little sexualized avatars, I'll say.
Well, there's a lot of innuendos, but it's like at the same time, I'm like, am I creating that just because I'm a pig?
I feel like that they appealed to the male fantasy with the.
No, because you can choose
Well, okay. No, let me finish. I was going to say, I feel like they appeal to the male fantasy with the female caddy. You know, she's like a in college, young, pretty Japanese girl that'll compliment everything you do. And then the female one, I feel like they kind of appeal to the female fantasy. It's, 55-year-old handsome. They even, this is how they describe him in the description. 55-year-old handsome. I think he's like a retired actor or something like that, so he can focus on his family of 4 kids. It's like they're really appealing to both demographics for sure. And I mean, they describe the dude as handsome. I have a feeling they were going for, you want to really like your caddy. You know what I'm saying?
I like the game a lot.
Yeah. The mixed reality mode
I'll
exists.
stick to that. Not playing it naked. I made the joke though.
You had me dying last night.
I go, so am I the only one that plays this with my pants off?
Yeah, no, you go, what? You don't play this game with your pants off?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Because once we started joking about it, then you hear what the caddy's saying.
Yeah,
which is,
if you go down a funny sense of humor road, you'll get the jokes. You know, if you don't, then you'll be like, okay, makes sense. I'll hit it long and hard and straight.
It's a small detail too. But I like that what the caddy says in online is heard by both people.
Yeah.
So we were able to laugh and enjoy the same.
And they give you the ability to like clap and cheer and go, ooh.
I remember at one point I went to go take a swing and my caddy she goes, I think you'd be better off taking a practice swing first. I was like, what the hell, dude? That's not nice. What are you trying to say?
She gives good instruction.
It's a fun game though. Did you hop into the mixed reality mode?
Yes.
It didn't really do it for me.
Well, no, because the mixed reality mode is like I did the driving one.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Challenge.
It's like a like a driving range, just in your home environment.
It's cool though. It took a wall. It's like, what wall do you want to hit the ball to? So you go, okay, and then boom, it turns it into like the real outdoors, and then for the game, but you're doing it in your house. So I'm like, all right, that's great. Because what difference is that other than like a projection driven, driving range that you see where you hit the mat? Basically one of those, but in VR.
I just don't think I'll hop into the mode too much when I play. I'll probably either do the single player challenges or where I think I'll really spend my time.
The mixed reality mode to me is like
just a cherry on top.
It's like what you show people if they want to, like, hey, you want to try something, and they can like drive some balls out and they know the surroundings. You don't have to put them right in the game. So it's not for me. It's cool it exists, but to me it'd be more for like, hey, check this out.
Seemed like the online mode only allowed us to do like three
different things.
3 holes as well
for the online?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick the holes. First 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't know why you can't do
more than 3 at once.
1 through 9 or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe that'll come in future updates. But the fact that there's functional,
I just can't understand why.
I know.
It could be
it was fun.
It could be for time. Like they're not trying to hold you in the game.
How long do you
hours.
think it took us to do 3 holes? Maybe like 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Yeah.
No big deal. Boom, bang, boom.
We do 18-hole courses in other games.
Truthfully, if you tie in the little animations and comments and all that shit, it's probably 5 minutes.
As we get more familiar with it, I mean, you think of a lot of our time in between the shots was like setting up, making sure it's properly placed, but like you get better at that stuff. I was doing it quicker at the end than I was the start.
But again, they're very forgiving with the putting.
Yeah. So huge props to Claphons. I love the game. Ultimate Swing Golf
100%.
on the MetaQuest now, $29.99. And then we also checked out Masters of Light, which is a new
hand tracking game.
Hand tracking. They say best played hand tracking, so that's how I played it. That's all you got to say to me on the main screen. It's like, well, if that's how that's like the chef coming out and saying, I recommend getting this dish.
Don't put salt on it.
Yeah, so I'm going to do what you say in that. So you pop up the first screen in the game when I go in says best played hand tracking. I'm putting my controllers down, you know?
I threw them right in the couch.
Yeah, I was like, say no more. Yeah, exactly. But it's like a fitness rhythm game, which you might go, that's something that I typically say about these things. Like, well, there's no shortage of those on the Quest store, but this is 100% unique. There's like these enemies that float in the air, and you have to punch your hand in the air to shoot these orbs at them to kill them. But you can like extend your arm out to shoot a laser light to like lock onto it and then shoot the orbs. And they're coming at you pretty fast. They come at you with different diverse attacks. So it's not like a rhythm game with like, you know, symbols coming down the line and you got to punch them like that. It's combat based. It's like you're playing a video game, but it took us 3 minutes of playing the actual game past the tutorial before I went like, dude, I'm popping a sweat.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the word rhythm. If they do in their description.
I don't think they did. I think that was a misnomer on my end, real quick, just saying. I meant fitness.
Yeah.
Hand tracking.
It's very unique.
It's definitely not rhythm. Scratch that from my description. I apologize. That was a slip on my end, for sure.
Yeah, no worries. I was trying to like, oh man, I don't know if I would I was wondering if they had category, but definitely a workout. It's not going to be for everyone, but I
enjoyed it.
I liked how well my hand tracking worked.
It felt so smooth in it. Even the menu, sorry to interrupt, the menu selection in it.
But they come out of the gate like, you know, you go from the tutorial, which seems like you're going to be greased into it. And
very easy
They come
tutorial.
out of the gate with these things coming at you. But yeah, and I'd find myself like using my left hand palm out to, you know, get my laser to lock on. That's basically what it is, big lock on target. And then use my right hand. But then when my right hand would get weak, there's only so much you can punch before you lose the blood flow in it. So when it got weak, I'd use that as the target and use my left hand. And I was like, they know that you're not going to be able to one-hand it either side. So you're going to have to alternate without telling you alternate.
And if those things got close to me, though, I started to like Vitor Belfort versus Vanderlei Silva style it, just with a bunch of straights.
I had none get close enough where I couldn't lock onto them. Because even the ones that you don't have to lock onto, you know that, you know, they're right in front of you. I would still like lock onto.
Because you're just in the habit of it. It's easier at that point.
Yeah, I'm going for consistency.
Fun game, though. A lot of potential with it. We're not super far in. I like obviously not a full review.
If I recall, I made mental note that the sound score is really, really good.
Psychedelic visual environment, too. I won't say psychedelic space, but that's, you know.
Kind of Tronish.
Yeah.
In a way. Old school Tronish. Yeah. Or I'm guessing new school Tron would probably be the same shit, right?
But a lot of potential with it. I'm excited to keep going through it.
Yeah, I like it.
It's made by developers.
You're freeing shit, what are they called?
I forget what they are, but they're like these avatars, like these
Female
light avatars.
Yeah. Or something that you're freeing.
And that's kind of your goal, and you go area to area in space to battle these things to free these captured ones. So there's some lore in it too. They throw a lot at you at the start with that. I know why you're missing a couple details, but I have a feeling that as we keep advancing through it,
we'll figure it out the hard way, one way or another. But so far, I'll keep playing it.
Yep, Masters of Light, made by developers both Albion and
the sound score's good.
Yeah,
yeah,
Albion and then Coven, and then also Coven is also the publisher, but they're both acting as the developer as well too. So kind of like a combo development team between two different studios.
Nice.
You know,
I'd love to know what the inspiration was for it.
Yeah, I want to talk to these people, learn the background of. There's definitely a good story that goes into this one.
Yeah, for
sure. And then we didn't check it out since launch, but just worth mentioning. Oh, I don't know if I said it too. If I did, sorry to be redundant, but $19.99 is the cost of Masters of Light. So yeah, it's out now on MetaQuest App Lab, which I don't even know if it's worth mentioning App Lab because that's phasing out very fast. As of right now, though, App Lab is available, browsable with a button on the Quest store. Like there's a section for App Lab games 19,
now. And this is awesome because sometimes when the price of a game comes out, we'll throw our 2 cents in. Like it matters. But $19.99 for this so far.
It's a steal.
I think it's perfect. It's like right on the money. I don't think that you're going to feel like you overpaid, and I definitely don't feel like you're gonna feel like you underpaid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna feel good. So I like that price a lot.
Yeah, they did a good job with it, and they were on the Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase too. So
They were.
Huge shout out to them for their participation in that. You know, I got a soft spot for all the studios that partook in that. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool to see the App Lab have a section on the store. I've been saying it for a couple weeks. This is where we should stop. Phase 2 of the
just cut it out. You
the
gave a button,
dissolving.
just let it chill.
Yeah, because they're going to cut out App Lab, and then it's going to dissolve into the main store.
It's gonna. I'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I'm being a negative Nelly about it.
Right now is perfect though. There's a browsable section on the store for App Lab, and there's no pop-up window. Boom.
Could be I just don't like the change. You know,
We're doing good. Yeah,
I don't
100.
like change.
Well, they had me pretty sold on curation because as somebody, when I browse Steam, I don't think it's the best experience.
Well, to me, it is going to open up the ability for a lot more games to be visible. Correct.
Correct. It's also going to open up the possibility for a lot more games to struggle to get visibility.
Mm-hmm. So they've essentially steamed it.
Yeah, but minus the anime NSFW.
No poke my boobies.
Not yet. I imagine they'll never be. The meta's pretty good strict on that. Do you remember when we first started the podcast? There was that game that couldn't get approved by App Lab, SideQuest, or anybody.
Oh, the sex game there?
Fleshlight Arcade or something like that?
Yeah. And the
Was
graphics
it, no.
looked really
What was it
good.
called? Not Fleshlight Arcade. What was it called? Something like that. What was it called?
I don't remember. It was some women developers.
Some art
artists.
project.
Yeah. I remember.
There was the testicle speed bag.
You know what? I bet you if you dug through your emails, you'd find it because I think they had offered us Steam keys
Flash
for
World Arcade.
It could be
Something like that. But they couldn't get, so they abandoned the project, I think.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure they abandoned it because they couldn't get approval
were
anywhere.
crazy looking. Some of them looked hysterical. I thought you could play it at like the
I think it was available on itch.io, something like that.
I thought it was also featured in like the Sex Museum in New York City.
I don't know about that. I just know that they,
I could have sworn.
but they just couldn't get approval on any of the stores. I believe.
Hell
was the,
no. Dude, I mean, let's be honest. Some of them were fucking funny. Like the testicle speed bags.
That was my highlight.
Come on. That's funny. But then there was like
There was a couple more
some feminine hygiene products.
grotesque ones for sure.
Yeah.
A couple that I was like, I don't think I would play
They
that
were-
mini game.
They were pushing the boundaries. But I get where they
So
were
I don't
coming
think
from.
we'll ever see that on the store, is what I'm saying.
Well, there was a story behind why they made that game
Yeah.
too. There was a like
Man,
they had made a different game
2021
where they were trying to make a point.
2021 standalone VR scene. We had just started the podcast.
I wish we had PC VR back then
let's
because we
take
could have
us-
played it.
Let's take you down a time machine. It was
Memory lane.
May 2021. We had just started the podcast.
Yeah. But I remember seeing the pictures of it they sent us.
It had to be the
Holy
first
shit.
couple months. Like if we started in May,
Dude,
that-
it's real quick.
that was probably like August, right? Like it was maybe even before, like July or something like that.
Could have been.
Yeah, good times.
Yep.
Getting a little nostalgic there.
Nobody will ever see that game.
No. We also hopped in and checked out the Bunker Cat in
Mhm.
Ghost of Tabor. We talked about the update coming last week, but we actually checked it out this week.
I love my bunker kitty.
Man, I was impressed with the character model of it on the Quest. I mean, that's the platform. We could go on PC VR and check it out, which we probably should as well, too. But we checked it out on the Quest 3, and the cat looked nice. And I was like, all right, let me go up to this thing. Let me see if I go to put my hand on it, if like my hand just goes through it, or there's like an invisible wall or something like that. But,
Mhm.
you know, your hand really glides
Pet your kitty.
on it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can pet your kitty.
I flicked his
Its
ears.
ears,
And his
yeah.
ears moved.
Got some physics on it. Got like
Yeah.
a nice little rigid body.
Got a food dish and a water dish.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
Dude,
it also lets you,
not
it'll
upset
drink
about the
water,
bunker
eat
kitty at all.
food. It'll scratch at the thing. It'll sleep.
I just hope.
They expand on
man.
it.
Well, here's my bunker cat fear. Just seeing the progression of everything else that's taken place in the game.
Oh,
right?
that you're going to be required to take care of it?
Well, no, but your cat's gonna starve to death, right? Because it's
if not-
right now it scratches,
Mm-hmm.
it like purrs. So you're gonna grow an attachment to this, right? You're gonna go in your bunker and know like you're just selfish and you won't put out a can of food or water because it will now require it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, it's going to die. And you don't get it back till the next wipe. Because there's going to be wipes forever. So why not put the responsibility of the cat on? And you opt for the cat. We should say you're not forced to have
you can go in the kiosk and then you
turn it off, turn it on. It's defaulted off and you choose to have the bunker cat. But I could see it taking that level. And then what happens if bunker cat has bunker kitties? Now you're responsible for a litter. Do you put some in your backpack and go hit islands and just like drop them out so they can be free? Who knows? So, but I love the bunker cat. I just have this feeling that the responsibility is gonna
continue to grow. It's very possible.
Give it a litter box.
That was cool. I also checked out the. Yeah, I know.
Scott could pull off pets.
Easy. Based off of that, I'm sold. I want to know whose idea that was too. That was. I love that they do that type of stuff.
If I were trying to be funny about it, I would think it was the answer to a request, but not for an animal. But I'll leave it at that. And then, but I would like to know like why the bunker kid.
I bet you it was Scott's idea. I bet you was like, dude, I want a cat in my bunker.
Somebody's
it's like
idea.
A bodega cat just for your bunker. It's a bunker cat.
Like
freaking love
Elon
it.
And his dickhead shaped rockets that have no aerodynamic reason. He just wants them looking like as phallic as possible. That's funny. So yeah, no, I'd love to know this story. But bunker cat so far does not annoy me. I'm happy to see him or her. Don't know what he or she is. But whatever. She has kittens, I'll know.
Bet you one day you'll be able to name it and such too.
Dude, what if you could bring it on a raid?
I wouldn't.
Could you imagine that? Somebody shoots your bunker cat? Like, how sad would you be, man? I'd be sad.
Dude, that's why I would not bring... That's like bringing in my giant golden spoon on the wall. Or my giant huge spoon. Get out of here.
You know what's crazy? I mean, there's
my
wipes.
Hat,
I'm not bringing it back.
No, I'm not bringing that thing into a wipe.
I've never brought a gold weapon.
Or my hat.
Out
of your mind. So that's how I'd be about my cat. Because I don't
know why though, dude.
I bet
you get it back.
I bet you if you lost your cat, you wouldn't get it back till next wipe, where you'd have to like do something to get it.
That's what I'm thinking. If something happened to your cat, you're asked out until the next wipe.
I would never bring it into the raid. Imagine if you could steal. Imagine if people did, like, it's not just that your cat could get killed. It's like now you get killed, they could take your cat, and if they hold it, now they have 2 cats in their bunker.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Nothing surprises me.
I love the update,
I never thought we'd get a bunker cat.
No, great stuff.
Other than April Fools.
Right? Just as the meowing, but that means that they were already working on it. Well, I mean, obviously they were. Obviously they were. It takes time, but like...
So they do that on April Fools, and everyone's like, oh, that's funny, you know? Or some people didn't think it was as funny, I suppose. And I guess the ultimate joke is they made a joke that was real. It was an April Fool's joke.
What's to come. Yeah.
Correct.
I love it.
On a day where you should believe nothing. Yeah, that's brilliant. I'll give credit on that.
And then I also checked out that Hello Dot demo or early access app. It was pretty cool. You know, some potential there.
Sent me some photos.
Yeah, some videos of it too. Some like minor.
You know what's cool about those photos?
Or videos?
I can fucking delete them when they're gone. They're stuck in my headset. Dumbass app.
I think they just called it a demo, but I don't think it's going to be like a demo.
So is there an end game to it, or is it?
No, it's just a little sandbox thing. I think demo was the wrong word to use. I think that was just meant. I think it should have said beta, because I don't think there will ever be a separate app of like a full version. It doesn't even say demo anywhere on.
So what do you do?
You just play with it a bit for now. You do some hand gestures.
Can you throw it?
It'll float and it'll find its way.
You try to throw it against the wall?
I was like accidentally commanding him like crazy. So like wait, like there's one command where you point. If you point with your finger, it'll tell him where to go. So you can make him like run around the floor all crazy, him or her, whatever it is. And then if you open up your hand like this, it'll land in your hand. So you can kind of like summon it wherever it is. If you do this, it'll just float into your hand. Be like, what's up, little guy, you know? And then there was one command they were trying to get me to do that I couldn't get to work and advance through the tutorial progression, where it was like telling me to like make a hand symbol like this, like that, like rock and roll hand symbol, like the devil horns kind of. And it was showing an image of Homeboy eating, and like I couldn't figure out what to do. So I ran into a wall there. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was the app. But like so it looks like that there's just a bunch of gestures. I probably didn't even learn them all because I hit the wall with that one. But you just do a bunch of different gestures to command it around.
So he has no friends or nothing?
Not yet, but obviously it just came out. It's pretty cool. Then there's like a paint bucket where you can dunk it into and it'll change the color of it.
Okay.
And there was one time I dunked it in and then I changed the color. I was like, that's cool. Then I dunked it in again, changed the color. And then I smashed, I slam dunked him in there, you know, like really hard. And he didn't come back. And I was like, buddy? But then I put my hand out like this and it just like, poof,
showed
up. I will say though, the first time I popped into it, it was trying to have me do hand gestures. And my Peridot thing wasn't anywhere. I had to close the app and go back in. And then it popped back in.
But you wouldn't classify it as a demo?
I would classify it as like a
flex?
I mean, you could say tech demo, but like, I wouldn't say demo of like, here's the demo version of the full version separate app to come. I would say it's just like an early access.
Do you think that anything new is going to come to it?
I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, there's potential there. I mean, if you could add stuff that like food dishes and like, you know, like you said, little buddies to hang, and I don't know, just like the typical Nintendogs.
Can you,
shit.
If you had two of them, could you give them weapons and they'd fight?
Usually the direction of these games would be that they could breed and then you could make a farm of them. But I like your your brain too.
Well, it just made me think like
PvP style.
How great
you
would
battle other people's Paradots?
How great would it be to have a game where you have to work hard to get your character a certain way,
feed it, train it.
But the whole purpose of the game is you have to make your characters fight. So you have to pit your hard-earned work against each other.
I love it.
And watch them fight to only be one winner.
Or how about you battle other players, like Barbaria style?
Yeah.
So you have to feed yours, train it. You have to like sword fight with it, you know, to train it, whatever.
Get it all jacked.
Oh my goodness, this would be a great game. You train it in a mixed reality environment, and then when it's time to battle, it goes to like a VR environment.
Yeah.
Like you're taking it to the battle arena now. Like you were at home training it.
That'd be pretty cool, man.
Oh, dude, let's go. That's a great one. So, you know what? Real quick before I get carried away, as I mentioned last week, no ad read. So that's usually when we give a shout out to our Patreon peeps and such. So before I forget,
let your balls grow.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to our Patreon peeps on our on-air shout out tier. We have Amelia, Asim, we have Espire Mike, we have TP, Jake, Carson, Earth Witness, Crispy, and Shoes. So thank you all for your continued support month after month on our Patreon. We also have some other Patreon tiers as well with like, you know, your name across the bottom of the screen on a rolling ticker, as well as some other Patreon tiers that, you know, no on-air shout out, but you still get access to an exclusive Discord channel in our Discord server, which I say it every week, the Discord server, that's the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
I like when people join too and they're like, hey, I've been listening for, you know, a year. And I finally, you know what, you got me. I heard it week after week. It encourages me to keep doing it, you know, because I know, man, I get it.
Keep poking the bear.
Mm-hmm. So if you're a fan of the podcast, you haven't yet migrated over to Discord.
No, Discord is legit as hell. We've had people who have their own Discords that do pretty damn well, and they have some compliments about ours. So
great game meetups, great off-topic discussion.
Do a good job.
Yep, Amelia does a great job with, you know, setting up all the game meetups, what they call the VR happy hour, which is just a Friday night meetup like once a month or so. Shoes kills it, crushes it with the giveaways week after week. So
not even funny.
You know, huge props to everyone there. So huge thank you as well to everybody on our Patreon. If you're interested in showing us some support to the Ruff Talk VR podcast, go check out the link in our show notes. You know, join the Patreon, join the Discord, all that fun stuff. So continuing with the VR news, I wasn't expecting this. I mentioned Espire Mike on the Patreon. Shout outs. Espire 1 is getting a new DLC this week. I'm pretty sure, on May 23rd. And it's going to...
I laughed so hard when you had brought that up.
Espire... Now, the reason you laugh is because Espire 2 is out.
Yeah, it's like the dude's a gangster.
Espire 2 is out with a great mixed reality mode, great single-player mode, great co-op mode. And now here's this, like you said, gangster. he's coming out and he's dropping new content for Espire 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out on Quest this week, May 23rd. And then
I think that's awesome.
And then it's going to come out on Steam for PC VR in June. So, gangster.
And then also, I mean, especially someone like him, he's not going to do something because it doesn't work. So if he's going to invest his time, it's in something and a reason why he knows it's going to work. So it's cool to see Espire 1 still has that value.
And it's going to be new mission packs, but beyond that, no real details about what it's going to be.
Best kept secret.
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah,
huge props to him.
I think it's a great move.
It'll be cool to see if we see Espire 1 climb up some store rankings.
Some charts.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Dude, it'd be awesome.
Great,
I have no
great studio.
problem with that. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people still haven't checked out Espire 2. That's a damn shame because it's a really good game, especially co-op.
I'd put it in sleep, and I don't know why it would be missed at all, but I can't remember like what it came out against. That's the only thing my brain gravitates to. I just don't remember what was going on.
I feel like it came out in a year of a lot of releases. You know, it's easy to get, especially
but there were some really serious like rollouts to it. So
and we see how it goes now. A bunch of games dropping the same day. So we would need to go back and look what else came out. Not only that same day, that same week, that same month.
But he makes a good product.
Yeah,
knows what he's doing. Makes a good product, and I like seeing decent human beings win. So
hopefully it does climb the chart a little bit. I like
the food chain,
the peoples over there, and then another cool one. Another Aussie team. I love the Aussie teams. Them.
I can't wait to go.
The Max Mustard team, the Toast.
Can't wait.
One day. That's a long flight.
24 hours.
That's like the longest flight we could do.
I'd do it. Do it tomorrow, to be honest. Well, I can't do it tomorrow, so I'm not putting that. I would do it in the future.
I would do it with enough notice to be able to take the time off from work.
Thank you. I don't want to put anything out there that.
Those are the things that change the day we get to go full time. Then there's none of that.
Oh, no, it's like whatever.
I'll wait
tomorrow.
Yeah. Go get a cup of coffee and go to the airport.
Mates, you want to come down under?
So,
like, yeah, man.
Hint, nudge, nudge. Go check out that Patreon. You
want to see me some koala.
You know what I'm saying?
Want to see me an Australian rat. Fucking koala.
So, cool stuff, too.
Hold a koala. All right, anyways.
I think they have to be chewing the eucalyptus
well, yeah, because you got to sedate them.
And if they stop chewing it,
they're bears,
they get like mad aggro.
Dude. Didn't Rogan say he held one and it's solid muscle? Like you realize the second you pick it up, like, oh, it's not a stuffed animal.
To quote what you just said,
yeah,
it's a fucking bear, man.
It's a real bear.
That thing will eat your eyes out.
Fucking imagine
your ass
100
first.
angry koalas.
Yeah, no.
I've heard some Australians don't care for them.
Well, because they're just sedated the whole time. But nonetheless,
they're adorable though.
Another piece of news.
Come on, man.
Virtual desktop.
All right.
Great app.
I'm over my koala.
Hey,
move on, mate.
Virtual desktop, great app for streaming your computer to your
works
your
for me.
It's actually now an app that we use quite a bit whenever we go to play
I can
Grim.
shut my computer off from the thing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Away.
It's so cool, right? So virtual desktop in the beta build of the app. So example, like if somebody doesn't know how to navigate beta builds and stuff, if you go to the store page on your mobile app for a game and you scroll down to more information for it and you view the version number, it's like a clickable hyperlink if there's multiple different versions. If you click that, then you can switch over to the beta branch in some games that offer it. Like, it's not a game, but the app Virtual Desktop. In their beta branch, they're rolling out support for multi-monitor support. So that's cool. So if you have
the dualies.
If you have a Quest 3, you can have up to 3 virtual monitors in your view. If you have a Quest 3. If you have a Quest 2, a Quest Pro, a Pico Neo 3, a Pico 4, a Vive Focus 3, or a Vive XR Elite, you can use 2 virtual monitors. And continuing to show some love for Quest 1. Quest 1 users, they're still limited, though, to the same old one virtual monitor. That was always there. But at least they still have support. At least it hasn't been killed off or nothing.
Makes sense. Quest 1 gets 1. Quest 2 gets 2. Quest 3 gets 3. And Quest 4 will get 4.
Yeah. And maybe that's a limitation that we could even see increased down the line. I mean, it's just in beta, but 3 virtual monitors. I only have 1 real screen. That's actually a feature I might use sometime.
Dude, what if you could, I mean, imagine if you could have like 16 and run a different program on each one.
It's crazy that...
I mean, you better have a powerhouse of a PC, though.
I mean, if you think about it, virtual monitors is a feature that probably should be natively built in to the Quest. Maybe one day it will be, but huge props to Guy. I used to call him Guy, and then I got corrected. Very politely, but, it's not Guy Godin. It's Guy Godin.
Yeah, but even people in Discord were like, no, easy to mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I say how it's spelled.
Yeah, G-U-I.
In my American tongue.
That's how we always pronounce it down here. It's Guy.
But what I was going to say is huge props to him for rolling
These are what you wear in Karate Studios.
Here's huge props to him for rolling out features, I mean, cutting edge that really should be natively built into the headset.
Yeah, man. Works. I'll tell you what, knock on wood, I've had 0 problems with Virtual Desktop. Fire that baby up and boom.
If you ask me, it's almost like a mandatory $20 purchase if you plan on doing PC VR or any work PC with your computer through your headset. It's kind of like a must-have app, right?
It runs so smooth, dude.
Cutting edge of features. Dude, 3 monitors. I'm excited to try this out. I'm going to have fun with it.
There's for the productivity potential, it's enormous. Or in VR 3D modeling.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Yeah. We'll
editing episodes for me, like podcast episodes, in to be VR. Able to have the audio feed version open, the actual video editing software, but then also have a browser open for if I need to search stuff as I'm editing. I mean, that's incredibly convenient. So, like, for me as somebody that's always been skeptical of, like, am I really going to put on my headset? I'm actually a little bit like, I might actually use that. Funny how that goes. So cool stuff for a virtual desktop, rolling out really cutting edge stuff. And then the Quest 2 and the Quest 3, they're getting an experimental travel mode that's going to work on airplanes so that it's working with like proper positional tracking so that your menus don't fly all over the place.
Locks it in place. Yes.
My understanding of what would happen previously would be if you open up your menus, your menu wouldn't stay in front of you because you're moving hundreds of miles an hour in the sky. Your menu is going to stay where it was when you first opened it, which moves incredibly far behind you, fast,
a couple miles away
in seconds. So apparently, it was a very frustrating experience always bringing your menu back to your front once it lost that tracking. But this new travel mode should lock it in place. It'll be under your experimental settings in the headset, which is always worth peeking at because, like, sometimes I've seen stuff pop in there, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't hear about that yet. So I always recommend every couple months, just go pop in the experimental settings of your...
Yeah, see what's up.
Yeah, it's cool to see it. And things come and go, too. Sometimes you've had stuff that I don't have.
Yeah.
It's cool...
I don't always try the experimental mode because right off the name, it's experimental, so some shit could go wrong. But in this case, I think it's great. Yeah. I mean, same would hold true for cars, right? So if you're using it in the back of a car or whatever, or passenger seat, you can put it in this mode and have the same effect without it. I've never tried it in a moving car, so I'm just assuming that the menu would move away.
I don't see why it wouldn't work in a car as well. So let's go take a ride right now. We'll check it out. But cool stuff. And then they also announced a partnership with, I don't know how to pronounce this airline, but you nailed it off air. Lufthansa.
Lufthansa,
something.
I don't see it written. So
Lufthansa. Lufthansa.
I don't know.
Whatever. But for their business class on select flights this summer, they announced that they're going to be rolling out a Quest 3 for the people in those seats. In their business class on select flights.
Dude, you know how that's
let's see the reception of it, but
it's going to be great for flyers that like don't really enjoy air flight. And they'll figure out, put them in a world that's just totally not there, but will have sense with movement.
I guess it's going to come like with a preloaded launcher with like just some apps like Connect 4, like some basic stuff like that. And then it's also going to have some visual experiences. It's also in their announcement, they said that they're going to have some travel podcasts available that if you listen to it, if you want, you can go to a 360 virtual environment of the place that they're talking about. I was like, that's freaking cool. So you start to hear the podcast about visiting, the Swiss Alps, whatever. Not saying that that'll be it, but then all of a sudden you can be like, well, what does it look like there? And then, poof, pop into there. That's cool stuff. So some potential here. Let's see the reception of it. It makes sense that they're going to start.
I want to sing with the Van Trapp family.
I wonder if it's something that we might see expanded to, flights that people will actually take. I mean, let's be real. How many people are taking business class?
Well, they sell out business class.
That's
right?
actually a good point. So
same thing with first class.
I take that back, but it'd be cool to see if they're doing this as like a beta thing that maybe would roll out to other as well. If they're like, no, this is just a luxury thing that we intend to do for business class.
It depends on how, if
where the hell do you fly Lufthansa too?
Fly them out of Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
Just never even heard of them. I wonder what their real is. Do they do like domestic U.S. flights? Are they like international? Okay.
They're international.
Lufthansa.
I'm almost positive. I can see I think their planes are white with red lettering, but I'm not 100%.
But hey, cool to see. Hustling on that regard. And then another cool one, the sequel.
I know I'd fly them because look at what they're doing to upgrade the experience for people. So if they're that kind of air, like Virgin Atlantic, we might get one of those party planes or some shit.
Yeah, I have a teammate that travels to the Philippines like once a year. And he always hypes up the airplane when he goes. He's like, it's the best thing ever.
Which one's he flying?
I don't know which one he usually goes, but he just tells me all the Asian airlines just when you fly to the Philippines. According to him, I don't know how
fly Air Jamaica.
He's like, you sit back in the seats. It's like it's beyond nice.
Yeah, Air Jamaica is known for they're busting out a lot of booze on that.
I usually fly Spirit just to put things into perspective.
They still got fucking propellers.
The nastiest flight I ever took.
Dude. I can't knock Spirit. They're making,
Yeah, Spirit is like high class in comparison to my experience with Ryanair. Ryanair traveling in Europe was like, I've just never seen an airplane so dirty by the end. I don't know where all the trash came from. They didn't give anybody anything.
No. You should have just seen where it flew from.
Oh, dude, it was wild. It's like the dirtiest flight I've ever been on.
Feathers and poop everywhere. It's very odd.
But in other VR news, we should say, the sequel to Myst, which is available on the Quest in VR, of course, quite critically acclaimed flat screen game from back in the day.
Pretty freaking popular.
In fact, Edward from Walkabout Mini Golf, I remember him saying Myst was like his childhood favorite game.
Yeah, that was his go-to.
But they announced that there's a remake of Riven, which is the sequel to Myst. They're remaking it. It's going to be available flat screen, but at the same time, it's also coming to Quest and Steam VR. So, cool stuff.
Good move.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see games start to be released flat screen and PC VR at the same time.
Well, I mean, once it's known that you can make money at it, then people are going to, what the hell, man? They're going to freaking start making the games, or they're going to, but this is this comes with an already predetermined fan base. It's not like they're having to build from ground up. They, it's like making Myst, okay, well, it comes with a pre or GTA. If they ever made GTA, then.
Or Friday Night at Freddy's 2. I don't know anybody that got access to Friday Night at Freddy's 2 early, and they hit number 1 on the top selling.
We didn't try.
No.
But I do know what you're saying, though.
I don't think I didn't really see anybody dropping like day of videos of it or anything like that.
Day before or whatever.
And it hit number 1 on the store.
It's a strong franchise, man.
I had to go shut my window. Neighbors are lawn mowing.
They even make little figures and stuff, like those Popcos.
Mm-hmm. It's a big franchise. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you that
it's in I think it's in my Steam library. Not for VR, but...
Yeah, Myst was known for being an incredibly hard puzzle game. I imagine.
I have Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
No Myst for me. I played it, but it just wasn't. I didn't gravitate to it at the time.
Apparently, it's an incredibly hard puzzle game. I imagine Riven's the same.
Yeah, I can't see him going on a different. Mm-hmm. Let's take what worked really good for us, gave us the ability to make this game, but we will make it totally opposite of what the.
So that was cool to see, though. Yeah. And then Shell Games, they put out the official release date for their next game, Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire. And they came with a new trailer as well, too. So before I start talking about the trailer, I will say that the game's going to come out June 6th for $19.99, but you can pre-order it now for 10% off. And the trailer that they did might have been the best trailer featuring like a mixed reality, like a person in a VR environment. That might have been the best one I've seen yet. They did a really good job with it.
They knocked it out of the park, dude.
You were captured by it, and you had played the game already.
Yeah.
And you were like, we wanted to finish the trailer.
I wanted to finish the trailer.
Yeah.
No, the production value on the trailer is hands down, even though
we were watching like a movie.
Like being all scared. It's like they put a lot of work into it, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a good freaking game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember you being like, you knew the level that they were showing off.
I feel guilty that I've been able to play it as much as I have, and I didn't when I first after we got it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt guilty because I knew it was going to be, I think anything anybody knew was like a summer release date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, I thought it was hopefully coming out in a couple of weeks. It's like, no, I don't know when it's really coming out. And I just started to feel guilty at being able to play it because I'm like, it's such a good fucking game. Well, I can't wait for other people to play it.
It's almost worth it to restart it from the beginning.
You kind of have to.
Just to see what things could be different now. Puzzles could be harder, so you wouldn't have the full experience.
Graphics are good, man. The gameplay is really good.
Good sound
challenging.
Score.
Yeah.
No game in VR has ever made me use, all of my senses except smell so much. But even touch, you have to use your sense of touch with the haptic feedback, your sense of sound. Oh man, they did a great job.
I wish them huge success on the 6th.
Yeah, I think people are going to really like this one. So Silent Slayer,
especially if you love vampires, dude, it sells itself.
$19.99 as well.
That's another one. I'll say it. Perfect price point. 14 definitely would have been too cheap, and 24 would have been like, it's probably worth it. But $19.99,
I can 100% say this game's worth it for $19.99.
Yeah, man.
So why not pre-order it for 10% off too?
I wouldn't talk bad if it was 24. You know what I'm saying? It's
but you're just excited to see it at that price point of
it's like
$19.99.
Perfect.
And Shell Games crushing every aspect.
One of the best games to like pass around the headset at a party for and watch people's reactions to playing, even just the first couple of levels of it, because everyone's gonna win. The person playing it's gonna, just like they did at PAX. And then put it on the monitor so everyone.
It doesn't matter if you've already played the level and you know how to do it. Watching somebody play it.
Yeah, it's
if anything,
half the fun in a group setting.
More fun if you've already played the level and then you're watching people play it,
or just put people right into one of the hard levels.
Great pass the headset game at a party or something. Yep. So you better believe when I have my friends over for next fight night, I'm going to try to get a couple of them into Silent Slayer and stream it onto the TV.
Hell yeah,
it's a good one, right,
dude? I can't get Tracy in it. She conceptually, she'll just freak out.
It's scary with the jump scare, but it's not. I mean, you know me in horror games, dude. Mm-hmm. But it's not that feeling.
It's not Flock of the Logo.
It's not like
not that scary
because there's so much strategy going on in it, and so much like attention to detail in what I'm doing that I feel like that distracts me away from the horror, like the scariness element.
The fact that there's a vampire in a coffin.
But then yes, there's a jump scare if you fail.
Dude,
yes,
how good they
full
do
disclosure.
How good they do with the artwork on the vampires' faces.
Yeah.
They really
don't make too many noises.
Encapsulated vampire.
At least not until you seal that mofo in, then you stab.
Love me Shell Games.
Yeah. So another home run. I can't believe how well this game came together. From concept when I first heard of it to where it is from what we last played of it. Now seeing this trailer, great project. I got full confidence that people are going to love that one. And then another game that dropped last week that, unfortunately, I wish that I remembered it. I would have added it to our marathon play session. Blacktop Hoops made its full release last week. Available on Quest, Pico, and Steam VR.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
Not the easiest, but it's fun.
Really fun. Available multiplayer as well. So I'm definitely going to check that out this week. Give some thoughts on it next week as well. But if you're a basketball fan, man, that one's great. That one's $29.99 on the MetaQuest store, Pico, Steam VR. So Blacktop Hoops, cool people too. We interviewed the producer for Alana Foreman, like a year ago, maybe even longer.
She knows how to hustle, man.
Remember how polished the game felt back then in beta? And now, boom, full release. So cool
yeah,
stuff.
That's huge.
And then Smash Drums, they announced some enhancements to their mixed reality mode.
Yeah.
So one being that you don't need to have your spatial data scanned to go into the mixed reality mode. You can just go into the mixed reality mode. So what the spatial data scan is, like when you go into a mixed reality app and it makes you, 100% scan your room if you haven't already. Now, if you haven't, boom, you can still use mixed reality. And then they're joining also a club of apps that allow you to go directly into mixed reality without a black loading screen. So it's a very minor sounding quality life of a difference that actually makes a pretty big difference for immersion, where if you click an app and then it boots in and it's a black background with, the game logo, and then it boots into mixed reality versus you just click on the app and it stays in your pass-through environment and then, Smash Drums VR pops up and then you just start playing the game like there. It almost doesn't even feel like there's any loading at all. It's such a smooth experience opening up the app. So that's really cool. And then other piece of news, Retronika. I'm a little skeptical on this one watching the trailer. I won't lie, but I'll give it a shot. It's a VR first-person shooter on what looks like a motorcycle, some sort of vehicle that you're driving around.
Like a flying motorcycle.
Like a hover bike, almost. Yeah. I don't know if you have control over driving it or if it's on rails. It was kind of hard to tell. On rails being like...
I think you control it.
I hope you can control it. That makes a big difference.
Yeah, I don't think it was automatic.
Yeah, because on rails games aren't my favorite by any means. When they force you to go at the certain
I get it,
speed and distance, and I don't know. But this one, I'm open to trying. It's not my favorite graphical style either. The trailer didn't 100% capture me, but I'm open-minded. Sometimes trailers just aren't capturing, but it's a good game, There was another one. What was that other game that we looked at on here? Maybe it's on my back page. We watched another trailer right before. You're like, man, there better be more to this than what they're showing on the trailer. I got it. It was Neon Squad Tactics. It's coming to the Quest on June 13th. It's playable solo or co-op, but it's like a VR top-down tactics game. I mean, it could be a hit or miss. I'm very open to trying it. But you were a little skeptical just off the trailer.
No, I definitely want to try it, but I'm hoping that this is an example of what you're showing me is not the best that it is. Because there's a lot of trailers that I don't know why, but the game doesn't do itself justice in the trailer.
And that might be the case.
And then I play the game and I'm like, man, what the fuck? This game is great.
So I'm hoping that's the case with Retronika.
Yeah.
Which is coming out in August this year. But then the other one I just mentioned, Neon Squad Tactics, because me, I love these top-down tactic games, and this one's solo or co-op, so we can do tactics together. I mean, it sounds pretty cool, but it all depends on how it's implemented. I think it's going to be a much better game than was shown in that trailer.
I'm hoping.
They said in it there's going to be 5 corporations, and you compete for control over the map against those other 5. It's coming out June 13th, so really under a month away. I'll definitely check it out. I think that's going to be a sleeper. I got more faith in that one than Retronika, but the way things are going to go, Retronika is going to be freaking awesome, right?
We'll see.
That's the way. Anytime I've ever been skeptical about something, or I go, oh, it doesn't look the best, boom, ends up being a hit. So I hope that's the case here. And then just to touch on some other games coming out or that have already come out this past week, before we wrap this baby up. We've gone late on this one, so I'll try to be quick with this one, but this one's coming out on May 23rd. It's called Venture Gauntlet. It's coming to Quest and Pico. It's a VR obstacle course that the story of it has you partake in an obstacle course created by a billionaire. With the winner, if you beat the obstacle course, you inherit his fortune. Sounds cool, right? But this looks like a lot more than an obstacle course to me. There's some arrows shooting at you. You got a
psychotic course.
Yeah, there's some combat elements, not with other humans, just it looks like at some point you're using a bow. You're defending yourself from arrows, some climbing, a lot of navigating, maybe some puzzle elements. So looks pretty unique. I'll definitely check it out. It looks cool.
I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
It looks like it's got potential to be one of those we've described it before where a game has that it feeling, like that, just, it works. I think that this game's going to have that feeling.
Well, I definitely got to try it first.
Yeah, let's see. I'm excited for it.
It has potential. If it's kind of what I think it is, then you might be right on that.
And then another one that, I don't know, could be hit or miss, but I'm leaning more towards hit. I'm definitely excited to try this one. It's called, excuse me for any pronunciation errors, Consortium VR. The full release of it is coming this week for $30 on Quest and Steam, but it's a VR murder mystery game that has you use your own voice as well. I imagine, picking up the mic voices of it to navigate through it. I mean, I don't know the exact details of it, but it looks like there's some potential.
Yeah, and he said your choices impact the entire game, so that means replayability right off the bat.
You're probably going to make errors accusing the wrong people of stuff, or
yeah, I mean, $29's a steep price, so I'm hoping there's a lot of content within there.
Well, you see the potential replayability right off the top if it's what you think it is.
The first thing, exactly. The first thing I gravitated to was like, all right, replayability. If like
you're going to go through it and go, I messed up.
I can make multiple different choices each time, then that's just almost limitless possibilities of ways that the game can play out.
Timmy was a good guy.
And then I'm curious of like, if you solve it once, is it pretty much going to be that way all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it designed so, no, kind of solving it depends on like the person who, I don't know. I have so many questions.
Is the end result of how the game plays out not confirmed as exactly the correct way? So you kind of got to go through it again to see, well, like, I think I did it. Maybe.
I'm wicked excited to try it.
Yeah. And then another one, Last Mech Standing. That's available on early access now on Steam and Quest for $12.99. It's just a mech game that they describe it as a roguelite arcade shoot 'em up game. And that's exactly how it looks. Looks like you go in, kill a bunch of things, that a whole bunch of enemies are coming at you. There's some melee, some shooting, and then in between rounds, it looks like you buy upgrades and hit it again. That's just based off of the trailer. Looks like it could be fun. Looks like a game that I would probably enjoy more co-op, personally, but I'm down to give anybody the time of day to at least check it out. So I don't know if it'll be the best game of those ones that we talked about, but who knows?
I don't know.
In the same way that Retronika, I was kind of laughing at it a little, like, saying, oh, I don't know, it doesn't look it for me, but I'm completely open to the possibility that it's the best one of all of those games. You never know until you actually play it.
No, I agree.
But Venture's Gauntlet, man, that one looks good. I think that one's going to be the sleeper of this quarter of the year, we'll say. Just a unique concept. Not that many obstacle courses like that.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm pretty... Because it doesn't look like they're using that Gorilla Tag locomotion that everybody is leaning towards, which one might actually be just tempted to do on the concept of VR obstacle course. Looks like they hit a bunch of different gameplay features, gameplay elements, and there's going to be a great story in it. The limited narration they gave you from the billionaire was hilarious. He's like, I call it Venture's Gauntlet, and I made that name. Pretty cool, right? It's like it's going to have witty humor.
We'll see if it turns out to be sleeper of the quarter.
Yeah, that's my guess. Let's see. So, and then another game that I haven't checked out yet, but is coming out this week. Tank Arena Ultimate League is launching on May 23rd. So stay tuned for that as well. So cool stuff this week.
Only like a week away.
Yeah. I mean, one last little thing too is just real quick. Meta's working on a Quest for Education program for schools and universities. Not many details about it yet, but it sounds like it'll be a program that schools and universities can partake in to allow them to easily manage multiple headsets for the classroom with specific apps for those uses too. I don't know. Let's see.
Could you imagine? This is the fucking best idea ever. So you put a headset on and you have the full encyclopedia from A to Z in front of you, right? You open up A, turn to the first page, and whatever the first thing is, and you click on it, it brings you into a full immersive VR experience of whatever that is that you're looking at. It could be anything that's in the encyclopedia because it could all be brought to life. Holy crap, dude, that's a game changer.
that someone might say like, well, that would just be way too much content to create an individual environment for each entry in
There
an
is no
encyclopedia.
argument.
But here's my counter to that. You look at it, wouldn't even be an integration of ChatGPT. Meta has their own AI models, what they call Llama.
Yeah,
That's available to create video. It's able to create 3D. I mean, dude, the Llama model,
a living encyclopedia.
They've done some things with the Llama model that have been translating thoughts into words.
I'm just sticking to the.
So, I mean, it's totally possible to me with the integration
From an
of AI,
educational standpoint.
But let's see what this program.
Every medical book you'd ever want to come to life could come to life.
So let's see what this program is. But maybe if it leads to more headsets entering educational situations, that's cool. Let's see. So cool stuff this week. Whole bunch of stuff we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun, both in news, but also I just had a fun week as a VR consumer. Yeah.
It was a really good consumer week.
I want to really make it an effort to not chase this like what's newest cycle of playing and like really revisit some great titles that we had fun with, but we moved on to the next or whatever, like Loco Dojo. Hell yeah, let's go back into Pop 1. We're going to go revisit.
I don't think we chase.
No, we don't.
Anything.
But I'm just saying in general, like I want to focus.
We've always done what we like.
Mm-hmm. I want to focus a lot these next play
Hence
sessions
our love
on
for the underdogs.
Yeah,
The
Been
ones
playing that a bunch.
The ones that don't get the. Or I'm saying like underdogs in general, like being on App Lab.
We have it on our list to hop into Gods of Gravity next week. I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that one.
We went
It's
through
on
our
the
library,
schedule.
just made a whole list of a bunch of games that we haven't played in a while. It's time to revisit. So I'm excited to keep doing that.
Yep.
And again, huge thank you to the peeps on our Patreon list, both on air shout out tier and also just the people on the just supporting tier. Thank you all. Thank you to everybody that's constantly active in the Discord. Bunch of cool peeps in there. Wicked non-toxic environment. So I don't know. 2024 has been a really fun year. Bunch of surprises.
Around every corner this year has been something interesting.
I'm just excited for it. Bunch of new games coming out. Bunch of great games just this past week. Bunch of great games coming up next week. June's going to be loaded. Wanderer in September. August is starting to fill in. Let's go. Let's see what the rest of the year brings. So, again, if you enjoy the show, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. I will say this will be the only episode this week again, but we're booking out some great interviews.
Got a lot on the plate right now in the background. So.
Yeah. We will say we won't reveal what, but we have a lot, like you said, a lot on the plate, a lot we're not dealing with, because dealing with sounds negative, right?
No,
we're
it's not a negative at all.
A lot that we're managing right now.
There's a lot going on in the background at the end.
But plenty of great interviews coming up, especially to kick off June. I got some fun ones up my sleeve. I'll be posting in the Patreon channel of our Discord server probably next week, just to like load in questions if people want.
Will be.
We shall see. So, other than that, if you enjoy the show, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and subscribing is good. That way you get next week's content ASAP. And, on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, we get to say, smash that like button, all that stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe, yada, yada. Check out the Patreon, Discord, and we'll be back with you with another episode next week. Ciao, ciao.
Take care.